Hi there. This is Suffolk County Legislator Ann Welker. Welcome to South by SouthFork, conversations with local community members. And I am thrilled to be here today with Jenna Schwerzmann of Surfrider. Jenna, how are you? Please describe your new role at Surfrider, but maybe just give a little bit of some background on Surfrider as people may or may not be familiar.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Legislator Welker, for having me here today. It's an honor to be on your show. Yes, my name is Jenna Schwerzmann. I work for the Surfrider Foundation. Previously, I was working as the Eastern Long Island chapter manager for the last 4 years, and now I am working for Surfrider headquarters as the Plastic Pollution Initiative coordinator. So I'm working at a national scale now, but I am still local to the SouthFork, so happy to be here today. For those who don't know, the Surfrider Foundation is a national nonprofit organization that is dedicated to the world's ocean waves and beaches for all people through a powerful activist network. So we run through local chapters and student clubs. We've had the Eastern Long Island chapter here and active, as you know, and have been part of since 1999. We've been here, and what most people tend to know us for are our beach cleanups, but we also have a robust water sampling program out here on the East End. We've got over 80 locations that we're testing with the help of our partners. And we also do a lot more than that. We like running local campaigns, and one initiative that we're focused on is reducing plastic pollution. So I know that's what we're here to talk about today and what we're going to get into.
Is that one of the newer campaigns to Surfrider, or has that always been a focus?
I think it always has been a focus, especially with the beach cleanup program that we've been running. But yeah, the other areas that we focus on are clean water, beach access, ocean protection, and what's the other one I'm blanking on? Coast and climate is the last one. Yeah, so, but I think people are becoming more aware to the problems of plastic pollution, not just in our environment, but in our own health too. Microplastics are making headlines more and more lately. So, it's definitely been a passion of mine to try and reduce plastic pollution, and it's been great to be part of a nonprofit that also aligns with that.
So in your new role, how will you focus or how will you coordinate? Like, talk a little bit about your new role, because it's so
Sure.
exciting and it's quite new.
Yes.
It's like a month or 2 months
About a
old?
month and a half.
Yeah.
So in my new role, instead of just focusing on this region, I get to help chapters across the country. My focus will be plastic campaigns. So helping other volunteers pass legislation, like similar to what we've done here. And I also get to help with some of our plastic awareness and education initiatives. So we have a couple of programs at Surfrider that are designed to reduce plastic from the source. So not just dealing with the end of life of plastic on the beach through our cleanups, but reducing the need and the demand for plastics. So one of those programs is called Ocean Friendly Restaurants, and the other one is the beach cleanup program. So I get to help the national staff who are leading those and just be supportive to them.
So ocean-friendly restaurants exists in this area. So
Yes.
who are some of the restaurants and what does it mean to be an ocean-friendly restaurant?
Sure. So ocean-friendly restaurants are businesses that go the extra step to reduce single-use plastic in their business. our chapter has started it, I think, just before the pandemic. So it was a little hard to get businesses to sign up and get involved there because, as we all know, takeout became a focus to keep businesses afloat during that time. But we have expanded, and the list is always fluctuating because they join for a year and then they have to renew their membership with us. I think there have been a total of around 15 on the East End that I've ever participated in, and hopefully they'll all stay in the program. But yeah, we have several in the North Fork actually. I'm not sure why. And then a couple around here. Rosie's in Amagansett has been a participant for many years. Actually, they've been one of our original businesses to sign up. We've got Flora in West Hampton now. We've had a few in Montauk, including the Dock. So yeah, these businesses are going the extra mile to reduce unnecessary plastic waste when they're serving meals. That means, for example, avoiding single-use plastic water bottles for sale, only having reusables for customers that are dining in, avoiding certain takeout accessories unless the customer asks for them, which is known as skip the stuff. So those are just a few of the ways. I won't go through the whole list of criteria, but yeah, it's just one way that we're trying to encourage others to reduce plastic on the East End.
If a restaurant is, or restaurant owners or employees are watching this, how would they sign up to become an ocean-friendly restaurant? What does it involve?
Yeah, it's really easy actually. You just go to surfrider.org/OFR for Ocean Friendly Restaurants. That's the acronym. And there's an easy free sign up link there. It should only take, a few minutes for them to sign up. They can check off the criteria that they're following. So there's a list of mandatory criteria that we ask them all to agree to, and then they get to choose 3 more optional criteria. So yeah, and the benefits are that they get to be on our website, both locally and nationally. We have a map for people to use, so when they're looking for somewhere to eat, they can see which restaurants are ocean friendly. And then the chapter tries to collaborate with them as well. So if we're looking for a space to hold a fundraiser or a chapter meeting, we try to go to our ocean-friendly restaurants first.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. It's such a
Yeah.
good collaborative effort for sure. And then how do beach cleanups feed into that?
Yeah, so I think beach cleanups are a great awareness program. We draw in a lot of people who care about plastic pollution, want to help be part of the solution cleaning it up. And I just think anyone who participates in a beach cleanup cannot look at plastic the same. It's very eye-opening to see because plastic material is the number one material that we're picking up since it does last in the environment. And so I have shared some data from our chapter that shows the top items that we're used to picking up. And if you take a look at them, most of them are plastic, number one, but they also have a lot to do with the way we eat and drink. So that's actually how the Ocean Friendly Restaurant program was born. We noticed that a lot of the trash was serviceware, either takeout materials or plastic food wrappers, things like that. So yeah, they do raise awareness for the same problem.
Did you have a slide about the data? Did
I
you
do.
want to show that? Maybe if we could draw that up,
Yes.
please, that would be wonderful. And
GPS signal lost.
is that something we could pull up maybe? The data slide or whichever of Jenna's slides happens to come up, that would be amazing. Oh, there we go.
Well, there's a picture of a cleanup that we did together with Relic and some other partners for Earth Day. So that is one way that we address plastic pollution. And again, something that's unique about Surfrider and our cleanups is that we record the data on all the trash picked up. That's how we know what the worst types of litter are on our beaches. So hopefully you'll see in a moment. There's also some photos here of our work with Suffolk County specifically on legislation that has been introduced to reduce single-use plastic items such as straws. Some other items that we've worked together on are plastic bags, polystyrene, aka styrofoam, and oh, here we go. This is our data. I did not include fragments of plastic or foam. That's also a high number. But these are the top identified items, meaning you can tell what the source or activity is involved here. And it's from all of our data since 2017. And another thing that I notice when I look at this list is that a lot of these items are things that we have campaigned on to, again, reduce from the source, because that is what I see as the true answer to the plastic pollution problem. So for example, the number one item is plastic bottle caps and rings. Surfrider has been advocating for a bigger, better bottle bill. So are you familiar with that state legislation?
Remind me.
I will remind you and the audience. So currently we have a bottle bill that puts the 5-cent deposit on several beverage containers. That started in 1982. It has not been updated really since then, except for 2009 when they added water bottles, when those became a thing. But yeah, it's stayed at 5 cents. It only covers carbonated beverages and the water. It does not cover a lot of other items like, sports drinks, iced teas, juices. There's a lot of liquor and spirits that could be added as well. So we've been working in a coalition to try and get a bigger, better bottle bill passed because it's proven to work to reduce litter and increase recycling. So other states that have already increased the deposit from 5 cents to 10 cents have seen reduced litter and increased recycling. And by adding it to more kinds of beverages, that also helps with the pollution problem as well.
It seems to be like a no-brainer. What states have done it and where does it stand in New York State?
Well, we've been, trying to pass it at the state level, and it got pretty close, but our state session did just end yesterday, and it did not get all the way there just yet. Yeah, I know. But some other examples are Connecticut, Vermont, I believe Oregon, a few more, I think California and Colorado.
Okay.
I might be missing one there. But yes, it's seen higher recycling. New York State has originally, when 5 cents was more valuable back in the 80s, it did increase our recycling rates from up to about 90%, but now we've been sitting around like 60, 70% for several years. So we're hoping if we take after these other states, it will increase back up to 90% redemption rates again.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
So when will it have the opportunity to be moved forward? Will it have to wait a whole year or? Oh.
Yes, I think we'll
Darn.
we'll try again next year. But there's another statewide bill we've been working on that is part of extended producer responsibility, which we were just talking about. And the bottle bill is another type of extended producer responsibility bill. So the idea is that it takes the responsibility of disposing that material away from the consumers and back on the producers. And this already exists for several other types of material like tires, paint, mattresses. You can't just dispose of those. You have to follow the right protocols. So the bottle bill is an example of this, meaning the producers of those containers take them back. And we've been trying to get one passed for plastic packaging as well, which is another one of those high numbers on the beach. We got super close with this just yesterday. It was on the assembly floor after already passing in the Senate. And yeah, it didn't quite get there, but hopefully next year. The good news is that since it got so far, it got through all the committees it needed to get through. Luckily, next year it'll just go straight to the assembly floor. So that is some good news there. But yeah, we'll see, and that would be amazing because it would require businesses that sell a product to New York State to reduce their plastic packaging by 30%. It would also take a lot of toxic chemicals out of packaging, the ones that are harmful to our health, so such as like PFAS, phthalates, things like that, lead, other carcinogens. And it would encourage more reuse and refill systems. So we're really hoping to see that pass next year because it would just make it so much easier to avoid plastic. As consumers especially, we don't always have great options, so it'd be really nice to see something like that pass.
It's so great that you're working on the state level and on the national level in your new position, but you also are working at the local level with villages and towns on Skip the Stuff too.
Correct.
Can you talk a little bit about Skip the Stuff and how successful you've been at some levels?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the Eastern Long Island chapter has luckily worked with plenty of municipalities around here to get some single-use plastic bans in place. So going back to 2018, we worked with the county and other partners to ban plastic bags at retail and grocery stores. And then from there, we've worked on balloons together, plastic straws, and I think I'm forgetting one, polystyrene, that one too. So after all the success with that, we thought the next logical thing to work on would be the Skip the Stuff movement, which was started by Upstream Solutions. And I kind of touched on it before, but the idea is that when customers go to a restaurant and order takeout, they don't get certain accessories like utensils, napkins, condiments by default every time. They have to be available by request only.
GPS signal
So
lost.
it's not a ban, it's just a change in the standard, and these items are still available. It's just that the customer has to ask for them, which I think just makes sense. I mean, if they're being thrown in every single time automatically, then they're not just a single-use plastic, they're a no-use plastic because nobody requested that. So the chapter worked on a campaign in East Hampton Village first. They actually came to the chapter, I should say, the village board,
Good for them.
And they asked the chapter to give a presentation, which our vice chair did. And we got the community involved, not just, people who are anti-plastic like me, but we got businesses involved too. And it passed and took effect last year. So we're really happy about that. It's passed in other places like New York City and Denver and Washington, D.C. And so I think if they can do it, we can do it. And we're working on a couple other locations. Stay tuned, but I know Sag Harbor might be interested next. We did a presentation there as well. Also East Hampton Town.
Oh, that's great.
The Southampton Town Sustainability Committee may be working on it. So yeah, we're hoping it spreads and we start to change the standard up there.
Right, and legislator Steve Engelbright brought it forward at the Suffolk County Legislature, and you guys did such good advocacy work
Thank you.
at the chapter level, and you brought out also so many different community groups too. And I think, did you have to come to Hauppauge each time in order
I
to
think
speak?
once in Hauppauge and once in Riverhead,
Okay,
but
good.
yeah, I mean, there was a lot of support for it. Unfortunately, it didn't pass this time around, but we're hopeful that it might get reintroduced.
We hope so. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That's Legislator Englebright's initiative, but
Mhm.
we kind of nip at his heels now.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've
Yes.
heard, there's actually been a state bill introduced too, didn't pass this time around, but that could be a possibility as well. So, I mean, you know, I think it's great wherever it passes. However, if we can pass it at a county or state level, that would save us some time from having to go to each individual town or village.
For sure. And coming up, you have a big month of July in terms of, is that a campaign?
Yeah, Plastic Free July is not just a Surfrider thing. It's a movement as well. So the idea is just to raise awareness about the problems of plastic pollution, and I believe trying to reduce your personal intake of plastic, which is a very hard thing to do. I will admit, I work on it every day. But anyone watching can also take part in that and just look at their own plastic consumption and see what steps they might be able to take to reduce it on an individual level. For someone starting out at this, I like to remind them that you can just take it one step at a time. Because once you start seeing all the plastic in your life, it becomes really overwhelming and a little bit depressing. So I just like to encourage people to change one habit at a time. I think some are really easy changes, like, for example, buying single-use water bottles. That's an easy switch that once you just get used to it, you don't think about it anymore. So, other examples, I mean, I brought a few with me. I have my reusable coffee cup. You don't have to buy anything new either. Just using what you have is always the most sustainable thing to do. There's also, reusable utensil kits like these are a little bamboo set. But again, just getting in the habit of bringing utensils or to-go containers with you would be a great practice for people to try for Plastic Free July.
Right, that's awesome. And are there any other events that are coming up during the summer and the fall?
Yeah.
Either at the local level or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, it's nice to find other people that care about these issues and not do this alone. So the Surfrider Foundation Eastern Long Island chapter has events ongoing throughout the summer and fall. The easiest way to find out how to get involved would be to go to our volunteer website, which is volunteer.surfrider.org, and that's where people will find our upcoming cleanup dates. We have a few coming up this summer, so you could get involved with us and come to the beach and help us pick up some trash. We'll have, more chapter meetings coming soon, fundraisers, so plenty of ways to get involved.
Wow, that's awesome. And we've got a couple minutes left. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on while we were together that we glossed over maybe?
I know there's so much to talk about when it comes to plastic pollution because it's a big issue and there are multiple approaches and multiple solutions, luckily. So I would just say to try and find the ones that work for you. Whether that's trying to reduce your personal plastic footprint or getting involved with a community that cares about reducing plastic, or even getting involved at a legislative level and helping with our campaigns that might reduce plastic from the source. So, yeah, there's multiple approaches, and hopefully soon, one day, we'll get to a world where we're finding less plastic on the beach and in our lives, and in the human body.
So that's one thing I was gonna say, because we have a couple minutes left,
Mhm.
we've talked at the macro level,
Yes.
but we haven't really touched on the effect or the impact of microplastics, or maybe just even creating a little bit of awareness around microplastics for people who might be watching.
Yeah, sure. So, microplastic is anything under 5 millimeters. So, that's about the size of a pencil eraser. And you even can get into nanoplastics. And the unfortunate reality is that we are all getting exposed to these micro and nanoplastics, even just through what we eat, what we drink, and even just through breathing. I mean, they've been found all over the earth, all the way up in the mountains, all the way down underwater. So it's a scary reality that we're realizing that, you know, plastic now affects all of us. It's not just a problem on the beaches and the environment. It's going to be a problem for human health too, because microplastics are being found in pretty much every important organ of the human body. And recently it's been found that it's crossing the blood-brain barrier as well. So yeah, I think that is, you know, startling, but at the same time, I do think it is good for plastic pollution awareness because, you know, again, people that may not care so much about plastic on the beach might care about plastic getting into their brain and causing, you know, health effects. Especially because, like I talked about before, plastic can carry up to 16,000 different chemicals are being used in there, and a lot of them are carcinogens. And just, I think, having foreign objects, you know, found in the body can be problematic. So, yeah, while this is happening, I think, you know, we're becoming aware of the problem even more so. None of us are immune to plastic pollution now. It's polluting our bodies, and so
Thank you so much, Jenna, for being with us today and for your so important work on behalf of our local community, but also on behalf of our world for Surfrider. So
thank you.
it's thrilling to be here today and very educational with Jenna Schwerzmann of Surfrider.
Thank you.